Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 10.8, Place Value. The materials that you'll need, notebook paper, pencil, and your math journal. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is go over our math journal page, our math boxes from lesson 10.7. And this is page 252 in your math journal. If you're noticing that you have any wrong, please use your pencil and eraser to fix those mistakes. So for question number 1, draw at least one line of symmetry. You could have drawn a line going up and down, going vertical like mine, or you also could have gone horizontal, going across, or maybe you even chose to go diagonal. Any of those would be correct. Question number 2, color 2/3 of the leaves green. Notice how we had 6 total leaves. I divided those into 3 equal groups, and I needed to shade in 2 out of the 3 groups. So that would have been a total of 4 leaves. For question number 3, write each of these amount in dollar and cents notation. So I had $8.43, $15.06, $50.17. So double check to make sure that your 3 amounts matched the way mine did in question number 3. For question number 4, our rule is to add 9. So 32 plus 9 would be 41. 56 plus 9 would be 65. 45 plus 9 would be 54. Now the out is 97, so then I needed to subtract 9. 97 minus 9 would get me to 88. 89 plus 9 would get me to 98. Now for the bottom, you could choose. I chose to do 102 plus 9 would get me to 111. For question number 5, use less than, greater than, or equal to. 1 hour is greater than 30 minutes. 3 months is less than 1 year. And 7 days is equal to 1 week. For question number 6, use counters to solve. 15 marbles are shared equally. Each child gets 6 marbles. How many children are sharing? So I divided my 15 marbles and I wanted to make sure that each got 6. So I gave one child 6, I gave 2 children 6, and then I started giving a third, but I noticed I wouldn't have enough to have 3 children share the marbles. So I'm only sharing between 2 children because 6 plus 6 is 12, and then I have 3 marbles left over. Again, if you notice that you had any wrong, please fix your mistakes with your pencil. And if you have any questions, you can ask your classroom teacher. If you can take out your notebook paper or whiteboard and a marker to write down your answers from the next slide. If the speed is too fast, please pause as often as needed. So boys and girls, we're going to be taking a look at our pictures below. Notice how I have a picture of a big cube, a flat, a long, and a little cube. So 1 long is the same thing as how many cubes? You can write your answer or you can say it out loud. And if you said 10 cubes, you are correct. How about 1 flat? How many longs is the same thing as 1 flat? And also how many cubes? If you said 1 flat is the same thing as 10 longs, you are correct. If you also said that it's the same thing as 100 cubes, that is correct. Now take a look at my big cube. How many flats would fit in there? How many longs? And how many little cubes would fit in there? If you said 10 flats would fit in there, that's correct. If you said 100 longs would fit in there, and lastly, 1,000 cubes. So again, boys and girls, when we're thinking about our big cube, this is representing 1,000. When we're thinking about our flat, this is representing 100. A long is representing 10, and a cube is representing 1. So on these next slides, I'm going to ask you to write down the number in your notebook that is being shown with the blocks. So write down how much do you see and then press play to hear the answer. If you wrote down 235, you are correct. Write down the number in your notebook that is being shown with the blocks. Press play to hear the answer. If you said 417, you are correct. Our one long is represented in the 1 in our tens place, and we have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 417. How about in this one? If you said 350, you are correct. Notice that we have 3 in our hundreds, we had 5 in our tens, but we had 0 in our ones. So to show that, I just put a 0 in my ones place. This time I added in the big cube. So I have 2 big cubes, a flat. Looks like I have 6 longs and 3 cubes. Write down how much you see. If you said 2,163, you are correct. How about now? If you said 1,305, you are correct. Notice how there aren't any longs. So to show that I don't have any longs, I put a 0 in my tens place. One more. How much do you see? If you said 2,240, you are correct. Notice how I don't have any cubes, so I'm showing that by putting a 0 in my ones place. Second graders, if you can put your notebook to the side and take out your math journal, we will now talk about math journal pages 255 and 256. Notice how pages 253 and 254 are not going to be talked about during this lesson. Second graders, today we're talking about ballpark estimates. The first thing they want you to do is fill in the unit box. Now you can put in anything that you want in your unit box today. Maybe today I want to say dogs for my unit. Now we're going to make a ballpark estimate before we add. We're going to write a number model for our estimate. And then we can use our calculator to solve our problem and write the exact answer in the box. Now today I am not going to use my calculator. Instead, I'm going to work out the problems. I'd like you to try if you're able to work out the problems, but if you want to double check with your calculator after, you can do that. So why don't you look at the first one with me, just to kind of see how we'll do this page today. So for question number 1, I have 148 plus 27. I'm going to round these to the nearest 10. So I'm going to round 148 to 150. I'm going to round 27 to 30. My ballpark estimate is 180. Now to find the exact answer, I chose to stack them. So I have 148 plus 27. I know that 8 plus 7 is going to give me 15. Notice how I carry my 1, I put my 5 below. I know that 4 plus 2 plus 1 is going to get me 7. And then lastly, I have my 1, giving me my total of 175. Second graders, what I would like you to do is pause the video, answer the following 5 questions, and then hit play to check your work. For question number 2, my ballpark estimate, I rounded 160 plus 30 equals 190. Then I solved 163 plus 32. I know 3 plus 2 is 5, 6 plus 3 is 9, and then I have my 1, giving me my actual answer of 195. For question number 3, I rounded 130 plus 40 to equal 170. Then finding my actual answer, 133 plus 35, I know 3 plus 5 is 8, 3 plus 3 is 6, and then I have my 1, giving me 168. If I'm going too fast, please press pause and then play again. For question number 4, I rounded 140 plus 40 to 180. 143 plus 41, 3 plus 1 is going to get me to 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, and then I have 1 to get me to 184. For question number 5, 180 plus 20 is equal to 200. 184 plus 23, 4 plus 3 is 7. 8 plus 2 is 10. Notice how I carried my 1 on top. I put my 0 below, and now I know that 1 plus 1 is 2, giving me a total of 207. Lastly, for number 6, 150 plus 80 is equal to 230. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. 5 plus 8 is equal to 13. Notice how I carried my 1, I put my 3 below, and then 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, giving me my total of 237. Boys and girls, take a look at how close my ballpark estimate was to each of my actual answers. I want you to double check and make sure you have this page correct. If you're noticing any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. The last thing we'll talk about today is our math box page, which is page 256. For question number 1, this is very similar to the beginning of our lesson, and I want you to tell me how much is shown with the blocks. For question number 2, if Kelly has $10 and her lunch total was $8.75, how much change will she get? Question number 3, in the morning it was 62 degrees Fahrenheit. By the afternoon, the temperature was 75 degrees Fahrenheit. How much did the temperature rise? Filling in your start, change, end diagram, and also giving me a number model. For question number 4, cross out the names that don't belong. So if our mystery number is 10 cents, think about which of these would not equal 10 cents and cross those names off. For question number 5, which object is shaped like a cone? Circle the best answer. And lastly, question number 6, 4 ladybugs, 5 spots on each ladybug. How many spots? Fill in the diagram and write a number model. Boys and girls, once you're all done, please take a picture of your completed page and send that picture by Seesaw to your classroom teacher. We will go over this page in our next video. Thank you.